History is just filled with these whispers, messages from our ancestors, scrawled on clay, stamped into gold, bound in books that, well, they just defy all understanding. They're like ghosts in our historical machine, voices from the past that we can see, but for right now, we can't hear. So today, that's what we're going to do. We are putting 6 of history's greatest codes to the test. We're going to count them down from the ones that seem absolutely impossible to the one mystery that is right on the verge of being cracked. So which messages are lost for good, and which ones are about to speak for the first time in centuries?
But, how do you even rank the impossible? It sounds a little crazy, right? We need a system, some kind of clear way to measure just how unsolvable a code truly is.
And so we came up with what we're calling the solvability litmus test. See, to crack any lost script, code breakers really need at least one of 3 key things.
First, the dream scenario. A bilingual text, basically a Rosetta Stone that translates the unknown into a language we already know. Second, a known related language, a linguistic cousin that can give you a ton of clues. Or third, just a massive amount of text, so much that you can start to spot patterns through sheer force. Now, if a code has none of these, well, it's in serious trouble.
So let's start at the very bottom of our list, with the codes that fail our litmus test so completely they might just be locked away forever. Kicking off our countdown at number 6 is the Rongo script of Easter Island, or as it's known, Rapa Nui. Now this is incredible. It's the only independent writing system ever invented in the entire Pacific. It's just this unique testament to human ingenuity in what is literally the most isolated place on Earth. And Rongo illustrates our problem perfectly. It fails every single test. There's no bilingual text, not a one. The modern Rapa Nui language has changed so much, it's not really a useful guide anymore. And here's the real tragedy. The last people who could actually read these tablets were taken in slave raids back in the 1860s. They died, and all of that knowledge just died with them. It is truly a locked door with no key. Coming in at number 5 is a mystery that isn't just a lost language. For over a century, people have called it an intellectual insult. Found in a Minoan palace on Crete, this is the Phaistos disc. It's a 3,800-year-old disc of clay, stamped with 45 unique symbols in this perfect, beautiful spiral. And get this, it's the world's first example of movable type 3,500 years before Gutenberg. But the disc is a complete failure on our test. There's no bilingual key, we have no idea what language it records, and this is the real killer. It is one of a kind. We've never found another one. So with nothing to compare it to, we have zero context and just not enough data to find any patterns. Honestly, the frustration is so great that some scholars have argued it has to be an elaborate modern hoax. Okay, moving out the list now, we come to the codes where, against all odds, researchers have found these tiny cracks in the wall of silence. There's definitely hope here, but it's a distant hope. Number 4 presents us with one of archaeology's greatest paradoxes, a script we can read perfectly but can't understand a single word of. This is Linear A, another script from that fascinating Minoan civilization on Crete. So what's the paradox? Well, we can read its successor, Linear B. That was cracked back in 1952. And Linear A uses a lot of the same symbols. So why can't we read a single word of it? It's because the language underneath it is a ghost. When we apply the phonetic sounds from Linear B to Linear A, the result is complete gibberish. That's because the Minoan language is what's called a language isolate. It has no known relatives anywhere on Earth. Plus, almost all the examples we have are just palace receipts, lists of goods. It's like finding a language without a family, and all we have is its shopping list. Now, for number 3, we're going to leap forward thousands of years to a modern American mystery with a potential prize of over $40 million. So the story goes like this. In the 1820s, a man named Thomas Beale buried this massive treasure somewhere in Virginia and then left behind 3 ciphers. One supposedly describes the contents, one lists the rightful heirs, and the third one, well, that one gives the exact location. And this brings us to the $40 million question. Is it real? The argument for it is really strong. The second cipher was famously cracked using the U.S. Declaration of Independence as a key, which proves the method is sound. But the argument against is just as powerful. There is zero historical evidence that a man named Thomas Beale ever even existed.
The entire story comes from a single anonymous pamphlet. So, is it the greatest treasure hunt in American history? Or is it the most enduring con?
Okay, we're now entering the most exciting part of our countdown. This is the code that for centuries was literally the definition of unsolvable. But now, finally, this puzzle is starting to get edges. We can see the shape of it.
Our runner-up, the mystery that is closer than ever to being solved,
Is the world's most mysterious book, the Voynich Manuscript. We're talking about a 600-year-old, 240-page book filled with unreadable text and these bizarre illustrations of plants and stars that just don't exist. For centuries, it has defeated every single attempt at translation until maybe now. Recent breakthroughs are changing everything. In 2024, multispectral imaging revealed hidden notes in the margins from a 17th century owner who was trying to crack the code himself. And there's a compelling new theory that suggests it's a ciphered medical textbook for women, written in code to hide its knowledge from the church. For the first time, we have a plausible why and a how. The answer? It feels like it's within reach.
and that brings us to our number one spot. The code that is so close to cracking, you could argue it's already solved. And here's the twist. It's not a text, but a machine.
That's right, our most solvable mystery is a 2,000-year-old device pulled from the bottom of the sea.
Discovered in a Greek shipwreck, the Antikythera mechanism is often called the world's first analog computer. It's this mind-bogglingly complex system of over 30 interlocking bronze gears. Just looking at it is stunning. Now, we may not know exactly who built it, but through a century of reverse engineering, from just looking at it to advanced 3D X-ray scans, we now know exactly what it does. It tracks planets, it predicts eclipses, it follows calendars. The existence of this thing completely rewrites what we thought we knew about what ancient people were capable of. And with a complete working model built in 2021, the code of its gears has essentially been cracked. The message is understood. So, from these locked doors to incredible working models, this whole journey through the world's greatest codes really reveals something fundamental about us, doesn't it? It reveals this deep-seated, just unshakable need to listen to the past. So, I guess that leaves us with a final question. What is it that drives us to solve these puzzles? I mean, it's got to be more than just a challenge, right? I think it's the belief that no message should be lost forever, and that every voice, no matter how faint or how distant, deserves to be heard.